What's going on, guys? My name is Zach, and today we're doing another deck profile. Today we're doing Labrynth. I actually, I think this deck profile is very good because Labrynth, they are the newest, what's it called, waifu deck and newest trap deck. But let us just dig straight into this. So starting off, we're using 3 copies of Ariana, the Labyrinth Servant. Ariana is the better version of the servants because she has the ability that when you summon this monster, you can search after one of your labyrinth cards from your deck. So that's you have your searcher right here. Next, I'm using 1 copy of Ariane, the labyrinth servant, and I'm not using her effect that much. But she has the ability that you can send 1 normal trap card from your hand, or that's set to the graveyard, or that's set on the field to the graveyard to special summon 1 level 4 level fiend monster from your hand or graveyard. I would say the effect is good, but remember, this is a trap deck. We rely a little bit on the cards. Next, I'm using 2 copies of Labrynth Chandraglier. Chandraglier has the ability that you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard and then discard 1 card to add any labyrinth card, or not add, set set 1 of your labyrinth cards from your deck to your field. Also, Chandragni has the effect that when a monster leaves the field by 1 of your normal traps, you can add this monster from the graveyard back to your hand. I will say it's a great effect, guys, and it very comes in handy sometimes. Next, I'm using 1 Labrynth Stovitovi. I would have used 2 if I could find my auto copy of it. But I just needed to get this deck profile out, so yeah. But he has the same effect that you can send it to the graveyard and then discard a card again and set 1 Labrynth normal, or set 1 Labrynth spell trap card. Next, I'm using 1 Labrynth Kuglok. Kuglok is, I will say, some people play him, some people don't. I can see why. But Kuglok has the effect that you can send this card to the graveyard to set 1 of your normal traps from the graveyard. So that's a good effect because send him out, set 1 of your normal traps again. Next, we're using 1 copy of one of the monsters when it was released that a lot of people was hitting on, and that is Lady Labrynth of the Silver Castle. I will say, guys, I'm not that much into playing waifu decks. Currently, I'm playing Black Wings, but I will say I play Labrynth currently right now because I think the deck is cool and because I'm not a simp into the cards. Because I'm in a group named Labrynth Duelist on Facebook. I am a member of that, or I follow it. And sometimes some of the pictures is very interesting, if you can get me there. But back to the cards before we talk about the unrelevant stuff. But Lady Labrynth has the effect that I will just hold it here. What? She has the effect that you can. Okay, come on, focus. Thank you. She has the effect that your opponent cannot activate monster effects in response to the activation of my normal trap cards. Also, I can tie 1 normal trap card in the graveyard, set it to the field, but it cannot be activated unless you control a fiend monster. If another monster leaves the field by 1 of my normal traps, she can destroy one card my opponent controls. Or, yeah, in hand randomly. So that's a good effect because you can mill out some of your opponent's cards as well. Next, I'm using 2 copies again of a Labrynth monster that was very much hit on, and that is 2 copies of Lady Labrynth of the Silver Castle. I know why some people are doing the thing where they find memes or find almost uncensored pictures of the cards, but again, it is just cardboard. It's just cards. But she has the effect that while you control a set card, your opponent cannot target it with the monster effects or with card effects in general, and it cannot be destroyed by card effects. Also, when you activate the effect of one of your Labrynth normal traps, you can special summon this monster from your hand in defense position, which is very. I will say it's a good effect because then you can get out your boss monsters quicker. And also, she has the effect that when a monster leaves the field because of my. Or when the effect is different. When a normal trap is activated, quick effect, I can set one normal trap card with a different name from my deck. So let's say I control her, I play the trap card, Dogmatica Punishment. Fine, then I can set Trap Trick. I will say it's a very great effect, and I can't wait to see the new support that we will get in. I think it's Photon Hypernova. There might be some clues there. Because I know we get a new trap card and might get a form of exotic monsters. I really hope, and I hope people will not be simping all around it. I will say it's completely fine by me, but sometimes I just get tired of always opening Facebook and the only thing I see is, yeah, you know. If you know, you know. Moving away from the Labyrinth, we're using 3 copies of Absolute Kingback Jack. And the start, I actually thought he was named Black Jack, like the card game. But no. I would say this is a great free up in this deck because he has the effect that when this card is sent to the graveyard, you can look at the top 3 cards of your deck and put them in any order. Also, during your opponent's turn, you can banish this card to activate the top card of your deck. If it's a normal trap card, you get to set it to the field, which is a great combo. Fine, I look, okay, I put it in, I look at my top 10 top 3 cards, I put it in any order, and then I use this effect next turn. It's a great effect. Next, I'm using 2 Lava Golem. Lava Golem is just an iconic card in the Fiend deck because he is a little bit form of kaiju. Tribute 2 monsters to some of this fill out. Unfortunately, I have seen plays today where people is actually using this card to their advantage, but we can't do that much about it. Next, I'm using 2 copies of Lord of Heavenly Prison. This is actually one of the better monsters in this deck because you can actually protect your back row while you're waiting on your combo. Because he has the effect that you can reveal this card. As long as this is revealed, your set cards cannot be targeted or destroyed by opponent's card effects. However, it is important to say the second you activate one of your set cards, you can special summon this monster from your hand. Which again, it is a free special summon, but then your back row is vulnerable to your opponent again. But still, a great effect. Next, we're using 1 Chaos Hunter. I thought of this card, and it is actually very good because he has the effect that when your opponent special summons a monster, you can special summon this monster as well by discarding one card. So that's a great effect, actually. But yeah, guys, that was everything for the monsters. Let's get into the spells. So for the spell cards, guys, I'm using 2 copies of Labrynth. Very good card name. It is the field spell of the Labrynth archetype, and it has the effect that when you activate Welcome Labrynth, which is the best trap card and the most expensive to the archetype, you can destroy one card your opponent control. Also, when you activate a non-Labrynth normal trap, you can special summon one of your Fiend monsters. I think it's level 4 below. No, just a Fiend monster. From your graveyard, again, free special summon, and you can mill out in your opponent's cards, which is a great effect. Next, I'm using 3 copies of Pot of Extravagance. I will say, guys, when I get to it, which I probably will sometime, I will upgrade this to Prosperities because this is not a good card. A lot of people think, well, it's fine in Labyrinth because you don't care about the X deck. Well, it depends on what you're using. And my X deck, I'm using a couple of cards that is actually very good in this deck. Of course, it's hard to get them out because the whole deck itself doesn't rely so much on special summoning that many monsters. But Part of Extravagance has the effect that you can banish either 3 or 6 cards randomly from your X deck to draw 2 cards. Or to draw 1 card per each 3 cards banished. So let's say you banish 6 cards, well, congrats, you draw 2. Sometimes the effect is fine, but if you get Ash Blossoms, you still need to remove your extra deck cards, which is a little bit annoying. But yeah, guys, that was everything for the spells. Let's get into the traps. And oh boy, we have a lot in store for you guys. To begin off, we're using free Welcome Labrynth. Welcome Labrynth is the best trap card in this deck profile. Because, or now I say best, there is better cards, of course. But this is basically a free special summon from your deck. Because when you activate this card, you can special summon one Labrynth monster directly from your deck. Also, the turn you activate this this trap card, you cannot special summon other monsters from your deck except for Fiend monsters. Also, if a monster leaves the field by one of your normal trap cards, you can set this card to your field. It's a great effect, guys, but sometimes I think it is a little bit sad. Because the only thing that you basically want to summon out with this card is your Ariana, your Lady Labrynth, or your Lovely Labrynth, which is 3 monsters. But I hope very soon that we get the Knight in the picture, because that is I would love to see that as a card. I'm talking about the Knight that we see here, and maybe also some of the other furniture that we probably will get. Next, okay, guys, I will say now we get to just a lot of normal traps. The first off, we're using Trap Track, which can set one of your normal trap cards from your deck if you just banish another copy from your deck first. Then we're using free Compulsory Evocation Device, which can return your opponent's monsters to the hand. 2, Archfiend's Ghastly Glitch. I will say this is an A and B card. To you guys that doesn't know, A and B cards is cards that, okay, for effect B to happen, effect A needs to happen first. And effect A is that if I control a Fiend monster, I can tap one card on the field, destroy it. Then I can send one Fiend monster from my deck to the graveyard. When the whole sentence is written by with then. Then means that okay, the first effect needs to happen before the second effect can happen. That's a very important thing to understand because some people just think, okay, I can't do the first effect because there's no tide, so I will just use the second effect. You can't do that. I'm sorry. I've seen cases of this actually, not with this card, but with other cards. Next, I'm using 2 Torrential Tribute. I will say, guys, Torrential Tribute is good if you just want to have board clear. And all traps that I use in this deck profile right now, other people might use stuff that they like. And again, this deck profile is basically to me because I think that this is the best way that this deck can work. Next, we're using two copies of Terrors of the Overbrood. This is one of the better traps because you can target one card your opponent controls and one card in the graveyard. The one they control will be sent to the graveyard, and the one in the graveyard will be set to their field. So let's say that you are up against Mirror Jade and Branded, and they have, I don't know, Aluba the Jester in the graveyard. Fine. Swap their positions. Yeah. A little sidetrack. Now we're using 3 copies of Dogmatic Punishment. Punishment is a great free up because it has the effect that you can send one of your monsters from your extra deck to the graveyard to destroy one monster your opponent controls with lower or equal attack strength to that monster. So let's say you're going against Guardian Chimera, 3300. Fine, I have a monster in my extra deck with 3300 attack points. No problem. Next, I'm using 2 copies of one of the better traps, actually. Double Gravedigger's Trap Hole. This is a great effect, guys, because you can basically burn your opponent and negate their effects. Because when your opponent tries to activate a monster effect in their hand, graveyard, or banished zone, then you can negate that activation and deal 2000 points of damage to them. Which is a great effect, guys. Since a lot of decks in our nowadays actually use monster effects from the hand and banish zone and graveyard. Next, I'm using 2 copies of Ice Dragon's Prison. Ice Dragon Prison is one of the better cards because you can tag a monster in your opponent's graveyard, special summon it to your field, and then banish that monster alongside with a monster they control with the same type. So let's say you go against, again, let's take Branded as an example. 2 dragons, they have Mirror Jade, and you choose Albion from their graveyard, banish both, problem solved. And the last 2 cards is double Evenly Matched. Because Evenly Matched, you just need it in. If you can get it in your main deck without problems, fine, do it. Because you can clear the board so much with this. But yeah, guys, that was everything for the deck. Let's go into the extra deck. For the extra deck, guys, I'm using 3 copies of Link Kuribo. This monster is basically in here because I use, again, Backjack, and he is a level 1 monster, so that's a great effect. But Link Kuribo also has the effect that when your opponent declares an attack, you can activate this effect, tribute this monster, and then that monster that they attacked with will get their attack down to 0 for this turn. It's a great effect because then you can prevent your opponents from just attack you. And I just basically love that card. Next, we're using one Salmon Grade Almirai. Almirai is just a protector in this, what's it called, deck profile. I was away there for a second because I was about to mix protection and protector to and mix it to one word, but it's a free protection for your monsters. I just have to be very careful to summon out this monster because it actually needs one normal summoned monster with 1,000 or less attack. So we just need to keep that in mind. Next, I'm using 2 copies of Nightmare Unicorn. Nightmare Unicorn is good because you can actually spin the cards your opponent controls back into the deck. If you don't know what spin means, I will make a video in the future where I explain all the different type of things that you need to know if you want to play Yu-Gi-Oh, or if you play Yu-Gi-Oh and you don't know what the words mean. But it's a great effect, guys. Next, we have 2 Nightmare Cerberus. Cerberus is a great 2-up because he has the effect that you can destroy one monster in your opponent's main monster zone. Again, you got a free pop when it's link summoned. Of course, Labrynth Nightmares have the effect that you need to discard a card for their thing. Next, we're using 1 Nightmare Phoenix. I would have used 2, but I can't find my other copy. I don't know what is happening, guys. I can't find my copy of Story and I can't find my copy of Nightmare Phoenix. What the heck? Guys, help me out. But he is a Spell and Trap card destroyer, which is a great effect, actually. Next, 1 Borrowed Sword Dragon, which, again, it is one of the better boss monsters, and 1 Unchained Abomination. Next, we're using 3 copies of Elder Entity Entes, which is just in here because of Dogmatic Punishment. I need the target for it. So yeah. And then the last card is number Chaos 40, Gimmick Puppet of Dark Strings, which is also a target for Dogmatic Punishment. I would say with the extra deck here, guys, you can, let's say, okay, Boros Sword Dragon or Elmira, you can basically swap it out for a copy of Access Code. This deck profile, I just didn't have one to spare, because right now I'm using one in my Dark World deck, and the other one is used in some other deck, I can't remember. But yeah, guys, that was everything for this deck profile. I hope you enjoyed, and hopefully you will click on the like button. Road to 30 subscribers. Right now we are at 24, which is great. We just got a little bit of an explosion in subscribers, so I hope we will pop off again like that in the future. But yeah, guys, that was everything for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time. Peace out.